which one's going to have a bit of a change in their fortune here in this first match. Getting action here around the ring. Doesn't look like it.
The battle
Want
begins.
to run into this one. The setups of the lanes. I mean, who's not looking forward to the laning stage the most? Would you imagine, Kez? You know, who's potentially going to have a pretty tough time in these matchups?
Honestly, I think Entity need to play well in their lanes. I think both their side lanes, their cores, could have not the best time if Liquid execute their lanes properly, or if their supports make any missteps at all. The bottom lane is mainly on like Undying to help Pure quite a bit. They need to delay this Enigma's level 3 for as long as possible. I mean, seeing as you have Undying, it's definitely, you know, doable. Yes, the hero's just pretty cracked out of control. And then top lane has a lot to do with the first few waves, but they're already helping each other. Of obviously the Fissure block helping to, you know, put the lane in a better position. Maybe also give Toby more creeps than the enemies, which will, you know, naturally just protect you because it becomes harder for the enemy team to go on you. So top lane just is a lot about basically both side lanes are a lot about the offlaners getting level 3. And if you can delay them from doing this, then the other lane will, I think, even maybe potentially stomp the lane. Especially the Wraith King Bane, I think they have a lot of play potential up top.
Let's see. Indeed. But are able to make something happen if the Kataomi may be out of position after those levels come in. Now though, Kataomi making sure to drag the creep wave round. Yeah, and Sonia's going to be able to do with that brain sap, stop him from getting away with this maneuver. Keep our eyes on the ahead in this matchup. 6 for 4 on Mickey, 5 for 2 on Stormer. Very volatile lane. I mean, as you say, step in the wrong place from Mickey could cost him his life. The levels are in for Stormer. Stormer sees a chance to go.
Did you see if he skilled the brain sap early on to potentially kill a boar? Because I thought he would maybe want to like slip the shaker a bit when there's some wave pulling.
Yeah,
I think for now, Entity are pretty happy in this laning stage.
No, for sure. Yeah, I did sort of wonder that because when Insania was chasing, I was like, maybe he's going to be able to stop this from happening. But brain sap. Yeah, I didn't quite catch why he did skill it first, straight up. But yeah, I think you're probably right. Probably was for a boar kill opportunity.
Yeah. Bottom lane is pretty funny. The Tombstone is like farming the easy and the Harkin right now, so Fishman's getting himself some good gold. Actually,
he's loving this. All right.
Yeah.
Easy money for Fishman. A few more hits on those creeps to take him out. You know, getting some farming done himself. I mean, look at him. He's got 9 CS.
I mean, for now, I would say everyone is very happy. It will show a little more obvious within the next minute or so how these lanes will progress. Usually this Enigma, the second level in Eidolons is really where lanes can turn around a lot for you, especially against heroes that don't deal well with Eidolons, as we've touched on already, which Faceless Void is not. Currently, Pure is doing very well. I mean, overall, I've also been very impressed with this guy's gameplay. I think he's an outstanding player, especially he's even playing a lot of different heroes, and it's in my opinion quite crazy to see for a player with, you know, the experience that he has, which is not that much. It's like his first year in competitive, at least as far as I'm concerned. So I'm at least looking for him to have a good game, because I think this lane is really not easy. So if he gets out of this lane in a very nice manner, then it's off to them.
And you can never quite expect to say what he's going to play with the versatility. Doing stuff that it seems like other teams are trying to emulate, but players aren't quite able to do it on the same level. You know, like a safe lane SF, something that they're brushed with, but some other teams try it and kind of fall flat on its face. Mickey got to get a bit of a decent lead here against Stormstormer. 21 and 10. Please denies with that heavy right click that a Zeus has nowadays. 16 for 4 on Stormer.
Yeah, I've seen most of these matchups go similar to this, where Zeus plays against Bad, where Zeus just wins early on a little bit, he's gonna out-CS you, and then it just comes down a lot to the supports as we have a little bit of go on top.
Top lane. Damage done here to Matsu. Try and get away. We'll see Insania. Oh, the Shaker with the Nightmare. Heavy amount of harassment there from those two as Domi was able to get a really nice angle on the Fisher. Trapping Matsu in, allowing them to get the damage done. Bottom lane. Make a move for Fishman. He's got the stick charges. Be able to turn, drop the tombstone. Step away here. The Eidolon's not quite doing enough damage to take him down. Yeah, there as well, making sure that that gold doesn't fall into the hands of Liquid. Over in the mid though, Mickey stepping up underneath the tower. He'll be able to get first blood. He's the one to take the solo kill in this 1v1.
Here's Zeus too.
Oh, he's picked up another. He pops the ult, takes out Fishman. Well, that's going to set quite the difference now between these mids.
That's a nice play on him. I didn't quite catch what happened mid, but I think just all the Qs stacking up with a 20 magic wand charge, heavenly jump, and he gets to chase him down. Gets the kill, pop 6, and then I think it was Boxy who pinged out the Undying, so I think he just told him, yo bro, press that R button, select another free kill, and bam.
There we go.
Gets himself another.
And Mickey is very much having the dream start here as the mid Zeus. Couple of kills straight away there, 6 minutes in. Power runes coming into play. Katomi will be able to grab it top. I'm sure that Mickey's not going to be able to make any quick moves soon.
It's a good rune control by both teams. Even, you know, from Entity to be there to potentially help, as we have a dive on top Matu. He's going to need some help here.
He must have been in a bit of trouble. A lot of trouble. TP's coming in. Katomi was able to zip in and get a bit of damage done. Bit of setup there with that ace stream. Will now be put to a stop. Control from Insane here. Boxy steps up with the avalanche. Managed to punish the Shaker there. Charging in under the tower. The 2 TPs to come in though from Liquid. I'd be a bit cautious now on the bottom lane on his own.
It's a nice play by Entity even to just force. I think getting this tiny out of bottom is very crucial timing right now because the Enigma is very strong, and if you could help him to get to 6 faster, maybe score a black hole down bottom on this Void, because right now what's very important in a lot of these games is who has the eventual pressure in the lane, and it's usually on the Enigma side, depending on who you lane against. But Void is a similar carry from this type of style where once you hit level 6, it can become very hard for the enemy to lane against you. So this lane, even though early on it's very hard for the Void, whoever hits 6 first is kind of like a ticking time bomb, and it looks like Pure might get this faster in this case, at least for now.
Able to take out some of these Eidolons. Reaper 1 summon XP away from having that 6. Again, the 2 supports starting to back up those mid laners. Minute power rune comes up soon. They bring both supports. Once again, really ensure that fall into the hands of Liquid around the river.
Even Pure is running over.
They should be able to get Katomi here. Gonna burst very, very low. They'll take him down. You know, jump forward. He's looking for that chrono opportunity. He hasn't quite found one yet that he's happy with. Nightmare comes into play with the lasso. We'll be able to drag Insania down into the river. Brain Sap won't save him as Stormer cleans up the 2 of them. A double kill, full action there from Entity. They're joining the fight in the mid lane. They get the kills, Pure not having to use that chrono. They'll have that ready for the next play.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, it's really nice by both teams. They just, you can tell how much they both value runes, especially in this matchup, Bad versus Zeus. But now next up on the line is the top tier 1, which is getting pressured a lot by this Beastmaster.
Done here.
Top tower is under attack.
Back up as well here behind Toby, both supports.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
There's little that Liquid can do in terms of playing into this match. He's got to be careful.
Is under attack.
Start to step into Liquid's jungle. Stepping back up to the high ground. Good vision on him. Over towards the mid though. It's going to end up being Pure who gets caught out. He's hanging around, looking to farm up some of those waves coming into him, but they have the burst and control to just completely destroy the Void. At the same time, Matu on upon top of that second life, and he's got Mickey and Insania ready to help out. So now, Liquid, they can look to turn this fight as well. This toss is there from Box. He actually ends up tossing him sort of to safety. A bit of a missed opportunity for a kill there. Entity, I think they'll be pretty happy that they walk away with less casualties than potentially they will be there.
Yeah, I guess they'll be happy about that.
Yeah.
You know, luckily for Boxy, he made a very good move like 1 minute prior.
He did.
So Zai got to push the bottom lane a lot, right? When Pure ended up going to the mid lane to help with the rune fight initially. And then oftentimes when you do get kicked out as a carry, you want to go to mid because it's one of the safer areas. But Boxy making a nice play, smoking through the Radiant jungle, places some good wards, get the wraparound on him with the combo, Zeus ult, and he basically ended up falling on Void. That's how they ended up killing him earlier.
Still to be found. I imagine we won't see Pure heading straight back towards that mid lane anytime soon. Liquid need to try and back up Zai down bottom, maybe see if they can find that opportunity to get a play going around the black hole. Be a little risky if Pure gets the backup in. A potential Chronosphere may turn this play around. They've got to be smart about this, Liquid. Bringing in a fourth member.
Yeah, as long as they let the Eidolon sit, they should be okay. As long as they don't like heavily overplay this or get baited perhaps by some Undying who might show on this wave instead of the Void, we'll see. For now, they're at least playing this very cautiously. I mean, if you look at the map, Entity are not really showing any heroes. They do have a lot of backup, and they definitely want to take this fight, even if the bad right are reinforcing this play right now.
Yeah, they're going to show Pure here, baiting maybe some sort of response from Liquid, but it does seem like Liquid, they're reading the situation pretty well here. They're not charging into this fight. They're not going to try immediately to make a move. Hesitant, see if anyone else from Entity does reveal themselves down here. Also, my Fishman. Look like they'll be able to close in immediately. Maybe get the wraparound. Boxy in position, protecting Zai. Entity not able to make that move. Smooth takedown of the tier 1 there from Liquid, and not falling for the bait and the trap that the Entity did try and set for them.
Liquid played that very nicely, even though they reinforced with the Zeus. Like, they didn't try to do anything in like such a crazy manner. They just take it safely with the Eidolons. They kind of smelled, you know, that something fishy was you know, happening in this play. So even the Beastmaster rotated from top to mid, maybe wasting some of his time. So just overall a nice play there by Liquid. Nice read on the map too, as now mid lane, another power rune fight coming up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
End up being down the bottom, and it's a pretty tasty one for Mickey. Should be able to get there before anyone from Entity. Arcane Rune at the ready for the next play for the Zeus. That Kyra as well. Got to watch out. If Mickey's in position, he is going to be shooting out the magical damage. There, Boxy setting up by the tier 1 of Entity, seeing if they can maybe catch out with an avalanche toss back.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Very much ready to just continue to take these tier 1 towers, just see what sort of reaction they get out of Entity. Pure focusing on getting his Maelstrom done. And even with Chrono available, I think very much aware that these fights are not easy for him to turn up to. Liquid, they've got a lot of power at this stage. Matsu, the push. The tower, Entity, able to start any sort of defense. The fortification comes in. With that momentarily, but again, Liquid making sure that they don't lose anyone on these little pushes that they go for. Get the damage done, they back off. They continue to maintain the lead they have here out at the laning stage.
I like that Matu went over to mid to try and, you know, force it a little bit. If they do that one more time with the next skeletons, that mid tower is going to be gone, because right now the game is stagnating a little bit because both sides, as here we have a go on Mr. Undying.
Pretty dying here. Fishman, not much you could do when a crit comes crashing down from a Tumberman. Liquid with that kill, they can return to pushing this tower.
It's under attack.
Fortification, of course, now on cooldown. Nothing to be said here from Entity. Liquid continue to take over this map rather early. For Entity right now, when you sort of have your towers falling as early as they are, what do you think the talk's going to be here in terms of dealing with this pressure that Liquid is starting to build up against you?
I think right now for them, they kind of know that it's not too easy for them to fight Liquid head-on when they actually are at their towers. They want to fight in more open areas. That's kind of how the heroes work, right? The Tombstone, you have high area control. You want the beast summons to like keep slowing people, the sticky napalms to stack up and so on. As here we have a little smoke into the Dire jungle.
Could end up just being insanely attacking this. See Stormstormer looking for more. You know, he doesn't want to settle for just killing off the support. So off over to one side, Pure jumping across. Foxy's there to cover him with the 3-man avalanche. Could be able to jump again. Gonna go for it. Drops the Chrono, will manage to catch out the two of them. Allows him to finish off Zai. Turn over towards the Tiny, they'll drop the Roar as well. Make sure they get this third kill without any sort of disruption. Same time, Matsu though, he'll look to get jobs done elsewhere. Was able to find a very early tier 2 tower bottom 15 minutes in.
Yeah, taking the tier 2 there for them definitely the best that he can do as mid lane. We have even more levels on Mickey.
Another roll here, Slam dropped down, but Mickey's able to jump to the side. Not much to care there for Mickey. Comes to the one-man Echo Slam, he's able to walk that off, no problem.
That was overall very nicely done by Entity. So first of all, Toby was able to dodge the smoke that Liquid was going for after they took the enemy mid-tier 1 tower. So him dodging that smoke and then them actually counter-smoking back into Liquid without them, you know, being purely ready was very good by them. As now we have Liquid yet again. They want to speed up the game. They also know that all the spells were, you know, used, at least here from Entity. So they're looking for Pure, who seems like, at least for now, he's kind of, you know, smelling that something is going on again. He also sees Zai run through this ward quite aggressively, so he should know that something is going on.
Definitely have to be careful, Entity. I mean, Matu with his build very close to having the Deso on top of that armlet, the phase armlet Deso. They can set up and allow Matu to run in and just hit these heroes. These crits at this stage of the game are going to be easily over half the HP of most of them. We'll see mid lane Toby getting gone on. He will fall. Cats only tries to throw out a Fisher to block them off, but he's already dead. Bases here for Liquid. Get the kill, and by the looks of it, get the Roshan. No ults available on Entity, no chance of heading over to try and take this. Liquid continue to hit very good timings with these towers, this Roshan. You know, we're just 16 minutes in, but it definitely seems like Liquid's able to tick off all the boxes on sort of the list for their game plan this game so far.
Yeah, I think Liquid are executing their draft fairly well right now. They have the Wraith Pact on Zai. It's going to help them to keep taking all these objectives. I think Matu also fully understanding what he needs to do in this game. He's playing very fast. He keeps pressuring as we have a dive on the tier 2. Kataomi.
Sanya, drop the Fiend script. Make sure there's no chance for Kataomi to throw out anything in return. Another tower taken. Money there for the Deso to come out. Matu wishes to go that way before the Blink of Duty does. And bottom Riffle Hammer coming into play. Incredibly farmed heroes. And top spot is indeed Mickey as the Zeus. Definitely speeding up. We have all the ults available again for Entity. I mean, if you're Entity, do you look to try and again take that sort of fight in the open areas, or do you really have to respect this Aegis and just look to wait it out and just continue to farm?
I think until Matu has this blink, you can definitely take fights into Liquid, especially with Stormstormer being having completed his BKB. He did get it just now, but they're more so looking for like 1 or 2 quick kills and then continue to farm. Like throw out the lasso, roar chrono, get 1, 2 kills, and back it up with some farming. But I do think they want to look for a few plays, at least within the next 1 or 2 minutes, because once Matu has blink, it's not so easy to like ignore him in a fight, right? You're just gonna blink onto one of your guys in the back, swipe him out of the game. But until then, you have like another 1-2 minutes where you can probably smoke into Liquid fairly easily, kill 1 or 2 guys, and then to back off. Perhaps they want to wait for the Shaker Dagger. He's very close, around 200 gold, and Pure's getting his farm up, so okay, but mid lane, Matu.
Yeah, he's just walking in. He walks in, slams down the stun onto Kataomi. Easy kill for them there. And now in return, we'll see Stormstormer make the move. He's in with the BKB, lasso onto Boxy. Boxy, he will get bailed out here. They'll leave him behind. Boxy to die. Lines continue to come out very fast for Liquid. We've seen out Zai has got the Blink Dagger. It's a real threat here. After the black hole potential, especially if Entity are trying to look to drop their ults elsewhere in the team fight. Zai can be ready with the counterplay.
I mean, Liquid, they understand how stronger they are. And also, Entity's timings, they're still not quite there yet. They need to, you know, keep accumulating more net worth on the heroes. Shaker needs to blink, Bad Rider needs his blink, and Void wants his BKB. Those are like their strongest timings. So I think once Kataomi gets his dagger, which is now, Entity can definitely look to have a little more aggressive stance, whereas Pure will still keep on the, you know, main farming role, maybe join the fights later, but Liquid, they don't, you know, they don't want to make it too easy for you to get to that stage, so they're smoking again.
Absolutely not. They're making these quick moves towards the top. See how prepared Entity is for this. If they only lose Fishman, they'll be happy. Man's gone, and indeed space is made. Pure DP out the tree. Stormer should be fine as well. He's up in a few seconds. On Matumba Man as well. The items this man needs here, 20 minutes in to get the job done in these team fights. Very much, you know, Liquid, it seems that the approach they want to take against Entity is to just play it fast. You know, something that, you know, Entity, one of the ways they've excelled in previous series has tended to be their ability as kind of the four-man to hold the game off and just allow Pure to get to these insane levels of farm. You know, Liquid, they just don't want to mess with a game at that stage when they're playing against Entity.
No, they really don't. And we can see this Wraith King pick really come into play in this game.
Yep.
Playing very well. He's speeding up the game. Mid lane Aldo, maybe Matu. No, looks like Stormstorm is just gonna poke. They don't want to drop yet another tower, even Pure. He's somewhat around. You know, if a fight evolves, he can look to come over. Otherwise, he's gonna keep his farm up because, again, as you mentioned, he kind of needs his BKB. And on the flip side, Liquid, they just want to keep shutting down the map more and more. They should be looking to, you know, keep accumulating a little more of a net worth lead, because I do think, even though it looks like Entity cannot fight back at all right now, in the next few minutes, the game will become a lot easier for them. This bad blink will definitely give them like a way to initiate the fight, because they do have ways to break Liquid's team fight. You know, the Bad Rider can jump in, bring someone in, you have the follow-up Echo, you have a Tombstone and a Chronosphere, and it's not the easiest game for Zai to get off his Black Hole later, as Watson very close to his Blink Dagger.
Stormer hesitate to commit for him here. Quite sure of what waits behind. Yeah,
it's a little sus to try to engage people this close to the tier 1. You also don't see too much on the map, so I think rightfully so for him not to really, you know, not looking to engage too much. If anyone is there, you're gonna get turned around on. Even so, you would have to expand the lasso to kill him. Micke gonna grab himself a haste rune. So now Roach is down for quite a while, so that's not going to be an objective. So both teams kind of looking towards their next timings. I think Liquid are about as strong as they can be. Roxy also got himself another dagger, so both teams really, you know, hitting like a very strong form. And even now you have Entity smoked up, and whoever gets the first go it's going to be very crucial in this next fight.
Very close to one another here. See, there's the jump. Stormstormer gonna start things. Grab box. You take him out of the side. Pure's gonna be able to jump the back lines. Caught Zai and Matumba Man. Not quite having the damage though to get the kills. As after the chrono ends, Pure just gets destroyed. Matu crits him out of the game. As that was, it seemed like a solid chrono catching the two cores, but they just didn't have the backup, didn't have anyone else there in position to get either of the heroes that Pure was able to catch. As that ends in a very rough way for Entity. Ults down and nothing to show for it. Liquid, they're able to keep this push going.
Radiant's middle tower.
I mean, yeah, initially, as we both kind of stated, I thought it looked like a nice chrono. You know, you drag this one guy in, you get the two guys in the back, but it was very hard for his team to actually come follow him. They don't even have all that much follow-up into the chrono, at least in these type of fights. Mickey getting to deal like 5,000 damage. As here again, we see the lasso drag back, and then on the tail end, you see a decent chrono. Mickey barely got to dodge it with the heavenly jump, and I think that made all the difference, because Pure, he just got shredded in the chrono by the Zeus with the Mask of Madness. He couldn't get the time walk out again. And I think now after this fight, he's like, okay, I need a BKB. I'm not fighting again without it. And something else they may have to be aware of is just, I think Pure has to actually fight with his team. They want someone to drag a hero in and then make Liquid run more into them. Because if he jumps too deep, that actually makes it very easy, I think, for Insania to play his fight. Because he's going to stay very deep anyway, so if he doesn't get chrono, that he will grip the Void in his chrono and kind of bait all of Entity to come and help him. And I believe that it's not how Entity will win a fight.
Matu. He's in. We'll see Toby use the Roar to hold back Boxy. The plan is here from Entity if they want to fight into this. Pure steps up. He'll get held back by the Nightmare from Insania. Tombstone drop. Boxy will end up dying to the zombies. Entity, they're going to go for more. The jump. Lasso to drag back Insania. They'll pick up both support kills. Entity.
Alright, some kills. Also a gem picked up from Fishman here. Maybe a little too deep, but to be fair, Fishman barely survived the initial go. Then he got to get off the Soul Red, drops the Tombstone, and then the Tombstone actually made most of the difference in that fight. Now Gem on Stormstormer to try and counter out the map a bit. And the next few minutes will be very, very important because now with the Gem, also Beastmaster with the Shard. Well, he didn't get the Shard, he has a BKB for them. That's why I'm just lying a little bit. But what I wanted to talk about is going to be the little bit of map control now that the second Roach is up and running in this game. Because even when you're behind in these type of games, especially if you have heroes such as, these Faceless Voids, Beastmasters, Bad Riders, I mean, both teams have pretty good lineups to fight around the Roach pit. But the vision advantage should be in Entity's favor unless Liquid go for like a very nice smoke with a Zeus ult to pop at the start of the fight.
And even though they obviously still have the lead right now, Liquid, can they go into Roche and just take it and sort of just wait for Entity to come to them, or do they need to look for that kill, look for that move before they can just step into the pit?
They can hit Roche, but they need to do it very nicely. It's like the type of Roche where you hit it, not with the intention to like kill it from full to zero, but rather that if they step in too close, you go and fight them. Though I would prefer for them to actually like look for a play, maybe around the mid lane, where they have this really nice lane ward in mid. They have the Zeus ult to like go and catch one out, because when you try to do some straight up Roche against this Radiant lineup that Entity have, a lot of bad things can happen to you, right? You can be on Hawk Vision, there can be just like some lane as Chrono with a Time Walk to steal it, some Fisher. So let's see. I would like to, for Liquid to have a clear plan here. If they step up too far, you take the fight with a Zeus ult, be careful of the smoke around, and then just be very ready to clutch it and turn it into a fight before the Roche is too low.
Big items ready for this fight as well, Liquid. BKB on Matumba map, full axe done on mid K. See, in the area, very much showing that they themselves are willing to fight. Of course, the important BKB done for them. Pure's got it ready. Feel a bit safer going in for those deep jumps with Chronosphere. The question will still be there. Whether he'll have the damage to take down some of these bigger heroes at the start of the fight. It's going to be easy.
Buybacks are going to be very important as well for both teams to have. When you look at these spells that people are going for, like let's say Stormstormer gets a quick grab on the Bane with Lasso, he buys back, then they can take the fight. You also have Chronosphere and Black Hole on both sides, so the buybacks can definitely be a big decider in this next fight. As you can see, both teams kind of holding position, but now we have Liquid going for this play as we touched on earlier. And I think if the smoke breaks, we're going to see a Zeus ult into an instant goal.
Matu's going to be ready to blink straight away. There's the scout with the Zeus ult. They make the jump over to the side to get the avalanche out of the two of them. That's Fishman going down. See up on the cliff here. Insania's managed to grab Pure. Matu's in position, but the damage is not quite enough. The Chrono, it drops here onto the two of them. Pure focuses downside. He'll get him. But they can go for more. Pure jumps out with the Time Walk. The Fisher from Kataomi catches onto Insania. Kataomi...
Oh, this Tombstone is
he's got the Entity. They're going to be able to get Insania as well. He's getting chased down by the zombies. They'll take him out. Matu's back in there with the BKB. He's going to try and fight this. The buybacks are coming out from Liquid. They know now that in Entity, they've used the ults. Pure will jump back up to the high ground to scout things out for the time being. Now he's ready to jump back in. Jumps in, jumps out. To stay up here on the cliff, and now he's ready to come back down. No, he's not. Just kidding. He's back up there. Matu fissured and slowed down. Stormstormer gets the napalm stacks onto him. Oxy jumps across the Stormstormer. He's still with the BKB ready to pop. As Pure, he's in again. Over towards Insania. That's Matu's first life gone. Insania goes down. Entity, they're going to be able to set up and take out Matu again. They surround him. They bring him down. Entity, they have opened up the floor here to be able to step into the Roshan themselves. I don't think there's a whole lot that Liquid can do. as that was
Shit. No, they cannot.
I didn't quite catch it, but before the Chrono came in, I thought I saw a black hole, Kezu, but then it disappeared. What happened?
It happened at the same time. So he was ripped on the high ground by Insania, but then at the very end, I don't know, I didn't see it exactly. We might be able to see it in the replay. So we have again.
So, but the Chrono actually cancelled the black hole because it was the same time.
I think he dodged it. No, he time walked at the moment the black hole came out. We see it here.
Yeah.
Point one, bam. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, indeed, he jumps over it. I mean, if that catches it, that would have been a fight for Liquid. But Pure able to dodge the black hole. And that really just sort of set the motions for the rest of this to come into play as Entity. They have now taken the lead. 3K up, Aegis in the hands of Pure. I mean, you said yourself with Liquid's lineup and the way they want to kind of play this game, this sort of fight is pretty devastating for the momentum that they require to stay, to have a chance of going for that quick ending with their lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was very close. I can respect the play that they were going for, right? The smoke was good. The execution perhaps not perfect. You might be better off just having one guy jump when you pop the Zeus ult instead of, both the Tiny and the Wraith King to jump the first target. I don't even know who it was, but whoever they jump first, he bought back anyway. We could see like 4 buybacks, I think, came in that fight. It was just so close for them to actually kill the Void. But long fights will definitely favor Entity, as now we have another in the game.
Oh, Katsomi! Is it on top of the 3 of them? A great jump! As Liquid, they are very quickly crumbling. Triple kill for Stormstormer. I think Liquid may have had their fun in the early game, but now, at this point, Kezu, it's, everything seems to be flashing before them so fast. I don't know how you regain control of this.
So Michael is obviously gonna die. No matter how good he is, he's not getting out of this one. Okay, so if you're Liquid, you are down 5k gold. The game was very good. Of course, 1 or 2 fights didn't go your way now, but they need to regroup now. They need to rethink how to take these fights. The fight we saw like 2 minutes ago, I don't think they can take a fight at that again, where they straight up smoke into Entity. That timing has kind of dropped. I think now you want to enable Zai to get this BKB on him. Then you need to take team fights on the back of a Tiny and Wraith King going in, starting fights, and then allowing your backline spellcasting heroes, your Bane, Enigma, Zeus, to play along the fights, as we have a grip on top.
Straight away, Katsomi's there to cover them. Throws the Fisher out, Mickey and Insania, they're in so much trouble. Underneath the tower, Entity, they're diving in for the kills. They'll take out Mickey, get up off the BKB, Stormstormers in on top of Insania. They'll get another. I mean, I think it might even be just over it. It's just... the Liquid of the early game has just evaporated completely. It's all Entity, Kezu.
Yeah, it actually, in one fight, the whole game kind of took a turn. So I still think Liquid are okay if they don't keep, chain feeding.
I mean,
so let's see, they might get the Aegis, but at what cost?
I was going to say that chain
feeding. They get out, Tiny will die.
Maybe about to continue. As Boxy, he's gone. I mean,
someone might want to use his buyback soon. Right?
Yeah, he does indeed. He's going to get the jump, but the Fisher! I mean, I don't think I've seen a game crumble this quick in quite some time, Kezu. We had a little game building up.
Finish my sentence. Come back in the game.
But the feeding don't stop, Kezu.
Yeah, it's not stopping. Okay, I think you need to give up this Rax now. Talk about what you want to. I mean, Zai also fought back, so it's. I think
and
there's
he black hole and he died.
There's a fine line between them coming back or wanting to call it if people die more. But I do think they still have a chance. Obviously, what happened in the last minutes is far from great, very suboptimal. But you still have a very playable draft against Radiant.
Sure.
If you you need to take a breather, chill. Let's stop the chain feeding, get the map back in control, and try to get Zai towards his BKB. It will not be an easy game, but they can definitely still play because they need to get out of this chain feeding or wanting to grip some hero as Roar mid on the kick.
Yeah. I don't know what happened here, Kezu. Maybe the comms stopped working. It's just, as I said, I've never seen something fall apart this rapidly. As Entity, they're just crushing them. Top 3 net worth on the 3 of them, look at them. They're steps ahead of their core on the other side. a massive difference in the farm now. I mean, off the back of those last few minutes of play, as Entity non-stop action that they are bringing to Liquid, and Liquid cannot deal with it at all.
No, they really can't. I mean, the last couple fights, Entity, of course, can't only discredit Liquid. Entity are playing very well, and all these fights, when the early initiations from Liquid don't really work out, you don't get to run away from the Entity's lineup, right? It's something we mentioned in the early game. They want to fight in these open spaces that are very open, so they get to chase you. The zombies are on you, the sticky napalms, and they stack up. Now Void has the shard, he can jump in, he can jump out. It's one of the reasons why this hero is, well, quite stupid, you know, just there's no talking about it and it's no secret. He can go in, time dilate everyone, jump out, and just choose his fight very freely. And I mean, we just saw that come into play in the Roach fight, and I think we've seen it ever since for like the last 8 minutes. They catch Guy, they all get to play on very high range. You have Fisher into the shard, Faceless Void goes in. None of them need to commit to get these kills. Liquid need to be a bit more decisive with what they want to do, because if they want to kill someone, they need to clutch them. They need to die from full to zero, and they need to allow Zai to play a long fight. I mean, asking him to get off a good black hole is not the easiest with what has happened in the last minutes and the network lead that Entity now have, but that is your only condition to win the game.
Absolutely, yeah. The pressure is on for Zai. Many difficulties, many abilities he has to bear in mind when he tries to look for that insane black hole that they need right now. Have a look.
You need so many items. So if you're Zeus, you need... I mean, one of the reasons why heroes like Bat and Void are very good against Zeus is because, I mean, Zeus is the type of hero you need to catch him, right? You need to stunlock him, snap him, and kill him. If you don't have like the engage on him, then it's very hard because he just keeps dishing out damage. So in this game, Mickey, I think he needs a Blink and Linken's. Yeah, he probably needs both. He needs Blink to dodge the Chrono when he time walks in. He needs Linken's to not get like Blink lassoed. So it's just becoming harder and harder. I mean, Foxy is gonna try to push out top. He's probably gonna receive a feed here, but you know, that's just life. When you're behind, you try to push out the lanes. He doesn't even need to use lasso to get the kill done with the Witchblade and all the talents. It's just waiting time right now for Liquid. They need the BKB on Zai. I cannot stress it enough. Like, you need to hope that Entity either A, jump too deep on you, or B, you take a fight around Roshan with 5x.
In the mid, they're going to get the catch on him. They'll take him down once. Is there going to be any saving him a second time? And put the BKB, but so will Pure. They have the roar at the ready. Matsu, he'll be going down a second time. Already caps on. Design up the backline to jump in, get the Fisher set up. Help forward as well. Time dilation, slowing down Mickey's. Nothing to protect himself. As Mickey's dead, Entity ready to push up to the tier 3s. They'll force out the fortification.
Well, Entity are not letting you get to that stage. They have too many, there's just too many conditions for them to actually play fast. They have so much control over the map. Like, you're playing a game where you're behind against Bad Rider with Gem, Shard, Hog. Well, Sainer is just dead, but not too much to really talk about. Bottom lane, we have some split pressure from Zai, but I feel like you just go take 2 racks, then maybe you send one guy bottom when you have to. Like, for now, who cares about this tier 3 tower? Only if the racks ever go low, then you need to care. I mean, maybe they even want to push for the throne. They have Chrono still.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. They're doing all this and they're holding on to the big ops. They've still got those to drop down on you.
Barracks are under attack.
No, they're just playing it well. And as I was saying, 22,000 gold lead with map control against Gem, Hawk Vision, a Bad Rider running around, and you basically all of your heroes die to like any catch. It's hard. I think the only comeback is, as you stated, Entity dive you too hard, or you, in my opinion, you need to take this fight on the next Roach. It at least gives you a chance to win this game. I think if you give this next Roach to Entity, you will not win in any simulation of 100 games playing from this position. So I think you talk about the next fight, which is the Roach fight. How do you want to take it? Which 5x do you need? What items do you need? What's your condition? And then, well, you just try for it. You know, at least sometimes that way you're gonna win.
24k lead. Every single one of Entity's cores looking as stacked as ever. See, Liquid, let's smoke into this, but every ult is up for Entity. That is indeed an illusion. They've started to make the move on. Become a bit more awkward now for Liquid. Still Zai. The shadows. That opportunity has to be one of the crazier black holes we will have seen in quite some time to be able to turn this game right now.
Liquid are waiting on the Tiger on ward.
That's it. There's the Fishman. Fishes out. Pure jumps in as well. Controlling Matsu. Down the one. He's able to find a Zeus. Put the black hole. It catches Pure. Not really any damage though to follow things up, as Pure's going to be perfectly fine. They'll jump over. Storm are still alive here somehow in the middle of this fight. Finally goes down. Shadow imposter slam here. Catches Boxy as well. There's 3-4 here is dead. There's going to be a couple of buybacks coming out from Liquid, but there's no turning this around. Ultra kill for Pure. This buyback from Boxy, it's not going to do anything at all. It's over. GG's is called. See if Pure is able to grab himself the rampage. I think he may have the time still if he gets this quick enough. Oh, the ancient's already falling with the GG's being called, as that is that entity